According to FAO report in 2017 in Rome, climate change and feed the future world population are major issues for agriculture. In fact, climate variability accentuates difficulties of food production, and the report predicts an increase of 2.3 billion people by 2050. Indeed, breeding is a major greenhouse gas emitter. Ruminant livestock can produce 250 to 500 liters of methane per day. Methane is produced by microbial digestion in rumen. So how cow production will answer to climate change?
When a cow digests concentrates, it produces less methane than digesting forages. The digestion of 1 mole of forages produces 0.61 mole of methane against 0.38 for the concentrates. This is due in particular to how long the food stays in the rumen, and it's longer for foods rich in fiber like forages. When you increase the amount of cereals, you reduce the carbon footprint. With this table, we can easily understand that grassland systems are the least efficient in terms of emissions, but it's necessary to pay attention to how pollution is calculated. A life cycle analysis is probably the best because you can take into account all emissions but also the absorption. The performance of bovine protein production in relation to the greenhouse gas emissions is greater for developed countries. This may be due to the resources available in rich countries to adapt their mode of production compared to poor ones who only try to produce enough food. We have differences between countries and between systems, but let's take everything into account and try to understand why breeding is important.
Livestock are able to pasture in grasslands, and these grasslands can store our carbon emissions. In fact, 1 hectare of grassland can absorb 80 tons of carbon, when 1 hectare of cultivation absorbs only 50 tons. These meadows also make it possible to limit soil erosion and preserve lands and their biodiversity. In addition, livestock breeding ensures a diversity of landscape, flora and fauna with the conservation of ages. These few examples and the many other benefits of grasslands for the environment, farming and the valorization of lands enable to say breeding is good for us. And we can say that the cows releasing the most methane from their diet are the most ecological cows. Pasture systems are eco-friendly.
The FAO also considers breeding as something necessary for our world tomorrow. In Agenda for Sustainable Development, published by United Nations in 2016, breeding offers many opportunities and some challenges for the different items FAO considers as important for our future. As you can see, breeding can help humanity to have enough jobs and reduce the poverty, also to offer some new form of energy. More than that, FAO also considers all the good environmental aspects we talked about, but it's a challenge in some systems. In fact, some good points can be challenging in some other situations, such as energy, health, environment. But anyway, in average, 90% of cattle feed is composed by nutrients, non-consumable for humans. Consequently, cattle make a net positive contribution to protein balance. Breeding is essential to maintain food safety and contribute to rural livelihoods.
You are the future actors in agriculture, and you need to find solutions to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by cattle, but also to communicate objectively and scientifically on farms and their diversity, because we need breeding in the world.